but the tension in this book has me in a chokehold. Get the tissues ready. You're gonna need therapy, blah, blah, blah. No, 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 no. Like either kill each other or make out. Hello, my sweet and beautiful bookish friends. Somehow I found myself in the middle of more series than I was in the middle of before. So in today's video, we are actually going to be finishing different series. We're not going to be continuing series. We are going to be finishing them. Because the last time I did this video, I think I was in the middle of like 16 book series, and now I think I'm in the middle of at least 20. I don't know how it happened. I don't know where I went wrong, but in today's video, we are knocking that number down. I'm very excited because I think the majority of the books I will be reading in this video are new releases. So very, very anticipated, not only for me, but also for you guys. So just getting right into it, the first book that we are going to be reading in today's video is Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. This is the 5th book in the Finley Donovan series, and if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that I just absolutely adore this series so much. And the most recent book just came out at the beginning of this month. If you haven't read the Finley Donovan books yet, they're basically just like a really funny and kind of cozy in a way, like murder mystery. But what I love so much about this book series, not only is like just the humor and the absurdity of it all, but it follows our main character Finley, who is a single mom, and it follows kind of her and her nanny Vero, and they just get into the most absurd and insane shenanigans, and I just honestly have the best time with these books. I did read a tiny bit yesterday, so I am on page 26 already, and I feel like this one is going to be a very, very fun read just because of like who it follows and kind of like who's involved in this specific murder mystery. It's been, gosh, almost a year since I read her last book because I read it like as it came out, and I have just missed these characters so much, and just El Casimano's writing in general is just so fun. So already having a really good time. I just got ready and I am about to go out and read at a coffee shop, I think. I just really need to get out of the house. I feel like I say that in every video, but it's true. So let's find a fun, cozy place to read, order a nice drink, and get back into this book. I've been loving doing little crafts as I'm listening to my audiobooks. So right now I'm working on some jewelry. I am going on a few trips this month, and I'm going somewhere tropical at the end of the month. So I'm making these fun little like beachy earrings and bracelets to match the theme of the trip. And I'm also learning some fun new like little wire techniques from Craftsy. And they're actually very excitingly the sponsor of today's video. You guys know I'm a big crafts and hobbies person. I mean, I literally have an entire section of my closet that just has all of my craft supplies to cycle throughout the year. So this partnership could literally not be more fitting. Craftsy is your online resource for all things creative, with classes on topics from cooking to photography to crochet and so many more. There's something for every creative to try out and explore. For these classes, I really enjoy how easy they are to follow. I feel like especially when it comes to like wire wrapping and things that have very little details, it can be really easy to get lost, but the videos and the classes, they make it so easy to follow. 2025 is the year of cozy hobbies, and a few that I've been loving that I also think that you guys would really enjoy are scrapbooking for all of our fun little book journals, and just scrapbooking in general I feel like is very popular right now. Crocheting cozy socks to read in, and a fun little pottery class because a big dream of mine is to make my own cute little mugs and bowls to drink and snack out of while I read. Craftsy is also always adding new classes, so you've genuinely got endless creative opportunities. The first 1,000 people to click the link down below in my description can get a whole year of a Craftsy subscription for only $1.49. This offer is also only valid for new members, which is an absolute steal for everything that you can learn and make from their website. Thank you so much to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. I'm so excited for all the things that I'm going to be creating through their videos. I'm going to continue my audiobook, finish making some jewelry, and then I'll update you guys in a little bit. I have gotten to about page 119, which is chapter 9 in Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. And so far in this one, it's definitely not as like gripping as the other ones have been. I feel like the beginning is a little bit slow for me, but I'm still having the best time because I just love these characters. I love this story. I feel like a decent amount of people haven't really loved the last couple books because of just like how absurd everything is. But I feel like that's what I love about these books, is that it's just so crazy. It's like very unrealistic, but that's like what makes it fun for me. It's also just hilarious. Like the humor in this, I feel like it's just so fun. The story itself, like what we're trying to figure out, I feel like isn't as fun and interesting as like the previous books have been, but this book also has pretty good ratings. So I feel like it's gonna have some really good plot twists without giving too much away from like the previous books. Basically what's happening in this one is there was a body that was discovered in somebody's backyard, and from what it seems like, someone is trying to frame Finley's ex-husband Steven. A lot of this plot and like what's happening in this book, you do have to like read the previous books to really like fully understand. So I'm trying to explain it in a way that like would make sense to people who haven't read this series yet. Either way, I'm still having a great time. I feel like I really just like blow through these books. Today is a pretty chill day. It's Sunday. We didn't end up going to church this morning because I have had a really bad headache for the last couple days. I need to run some very minimal errands. I just need to like go grocery shopping and stuff. Maybe I'll switch to the audiobook while I am grocery shopping. But I'm really hoping to finish this book today because I really want to get into my next book, which is like so highly anticipated. The lighting is probably gonna be crazy and the sounds are probably gonna be crazy because as you can see, I'm outside. Gotta make sure yep, okay, we're recording. It is such a beautiful day outside. I swear it's like 70 degrees right now. It's finally spring. Well, we're having a few like really good warm days and then it goes back to like 40s and 50s. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's 66 degrees right now. It is beautiful. So I took my bike out for the first time this year and I rode down to the river because I just really wanted to read outside and get out of the house. Everything around me is still pretty dead and depressing, but at least I'm by the water. Got a nice little ambiance behind me. I am almost done with Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. I only have about 30 to 40 pages left, but I brought some really yummy snackage. And I got an Italian soda earlier, but it has kind of melted down into just flavored water. So for the next like 45 minutes to an hour, I'm probably just going to be here and finishing my book. These tiny bees keep trying to eat my snacks. There is a green belt right in front of me, which is like Idaho's, I don't know, like walking path, paved walking path, I guess. So people do keep staring at me and it's kind of awkward, but we are still getting over the fear of filming out in public. And I am kind of like hidden away a tiny bit, so that does definitely help. But yeah, just going to sit here for the next little bit and finish my book. I know it's going to be super echoey in here, so apologies in advance. But I did end up finishing Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave on my bike ride home last night, or yesterday. And I think I'm going to give it like a 3.75, which I was very surprised about because I feel like if you look up the ratings for every Finley Donovan book, I feel like this one has higher ratings than some of the other books. But I just personally felt like this one was like the least interesting. Like it was kind of a slower read compared to the other books. And what I love about the other books is that it's so absurd, it's so crazy that like you're kind of constantly on the edge of your seat, like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next? Like, oh my gosh, is this actually happening? And throughout this one, I feel like it kind of just felt more like a cozy mystery. There wasn't a whole lot of moments where I was like at the edge of my seat, like, oh my gosh, is she gonna get caught? Like, what's gonna happen? It just wasn't as exciting as the other ones, I guess is how I would put it. I did still really enjoy it though. Like, as always, I always have a good time with Vero and Finley. I did like how we got a little bit more romance in this book versus the other books. It's kind of like barely like a crumb of romance, but in this one I did feel like we kind of got more of Finley and Nick, which is what I was craving in the other book, so I'm glad that she added more of that in this one. I didn't feel very surprised by the like plot twist or like the reveal, I guess, but maybe that's just because I'm such a Finley Donovan fanatic, I guess I would say, that I can kind of just like predict some of like what's gonna happen. I don't know, but I just like wasn't all that surprised, although it was a very like cozy, fun mystery book still. But anyway, that is my ending thoughts for this book. And now the next one that I'm going, okay, I'm between two books for the next one. The first one that I have is Rebel Witch, and this one is the second book to the Heartless Hunter duology, or maybe it's a series, I don't know. This one, if you haven't heard about it or read it yet, is about a witch and a witch hunter, and it's kind of just like this cat and mouse fantasy romance type of deal. The way that the last book ended though had me, I needed to get the next one like as soon as possible. So I'm very like much itching to get into this one, but I also have Apprentice to the Villain that I have on Libby right now. So I kind of want to go in between like the physical and the audiobook for that because I think I'm going to go on another bike ride because today and tomorrow it's supposed to be like in the 70s again. I don't know. I'm making breakfast right now and then I'm going to think about which book I want to read. So I'll come back to you on what I decide. You guys, this is not a drill. This is not a drill. I got Sunrise on the Reaping. Before you guys go and destroy me in the comments for buying a book, when I should be on a book buying ban, this was one of the instances where I pre-allowed myself to buy a book. I knew this book was coming out before I went on my book buying ban, so I just got it, and I was like, would this count as like finishing a series? I was like, you know what? It works. To be completely honest, I have been in the weirdest like reading slump. Everything that I pick up just is not hitting. I'm not really having a good time. I'm not really getting invested. And I tried to start Rebel Witch and I don't want to read this if I'm not in the mood for it, because I really want to enjoy this book and I know I will enjoy this book. But I read the first like 4 chapters and every single chapter I was just like, this is good, but like I'm just not really into it right now. So I think what we're gonna do, this might be the plan, is to read Sunrise on the Reaping and then read Rebel Witch. I rewatched the entire Hunger Games series in preparation for this book release, so I'm just like a Hunger Games fanatic right now. I'm just so invested in the world. I'm just like super in the Hunger Games mood. So I'm hoping that because I'm just like super in the Hunger Games mood, that this is going to get me out of my reading slump. And if it doesn't, I actually might cry. So we are going to sit our little booties right here and we are going to binge read this book for the next couple hours.
Hot.
I'm literally only on chapter 3, so I'm not even that far the way in. Except for on the Kindle edition, it doesn't show me like what page number I'm on. It says lock 484, so I don't know what page that is, but chapter 3 is 9% of the way in. But I just had to give a little update because I already just love how many like little Easter eggs, I guess, and little things that they've been adding in from other books, like certain characters, certain families, some last names have been mentioned, and it's just so cool to see all of it kind of being connected. I posted on my Instagram that I had started this book and literally everyone was like, get the tissues ready, you're gonna need therapy, blah blah blah, and I'm just not ready for the emotional damage that this is probably going to cause on me. But I already feel like it's going to get me out of my reading slump, so I have hope. I feel like I've noticed something very silly about myself, and that's if I don't talk to people throughout the day, like I literally start to go crazy. Like I've been home alone all day, like as I usually am every day, but around this time, which is like 4 p.m., I start to get really itchy and I start to get very anxious, and I think it's literally because I've just been alone all day long. Anyway, I feel like I've been reading literally all day. I've been reading for the past probably like 4.5 hours, and I'm only like 40% of the way through Sunrise on the Reaping, but I feel like I've just been really taking my time with it, and I've been taking breaks here and there. Like I've been laying literally out in the sunlight for about 4 hours now, and I've just been taking my time reading it slow because I really just want to like savor this book. I should go get my Kindle. I always feel so weird when I'm like talking about the book but I don't even have the book, you know, like in my hand, even though it's just my Kindle, so all I'm showing you is a blank screen. But yes, I'm 40% of the way through Sunrise on the Reaping, and it is still really good. I'm still having a great time. I will say though, I almost feel like, okay, I have a love-hate relationship with like this specific part of the book. And I feel like the author did a lot of, I don't even know the right word, like I want to say Easter eggs, name drops, crossovers, I guess, of like people in all of the other books. But I feel like there's just so many that it almost feels like I'm reading the same story, which in a way I am, just from like a different person's perspective. But it almost just feels like there's too many ties and there's too many of the same people. But I also kind of love that because then you're seeing like, you know, where people came from and like the family lines and different generations, I guess, where things started, who is related to who. So like it's fun, but at the same time I'm like, okay, there's like way too many things. You know, I don't even know if that makes any sense whatsoever. Where I'm at in the book, we haven't gotten to the actual Hunger Games yet. We're still kind of like in the beforehandness of everything, which I can't remember if in the actual Hunger Games series, if like half the book was before the games and the other half was like during the games. I definitely remember in the second book, we didn't get like actually into the games until like later on in the book. But I don't know, like I'm not bored at all. But I do feel like at this point, it is kind of like getting slower paced. Like I kind of want things to like start moving along a little bit, but it's also like I don't really want this book to be over, so I'm trying not to like rush it, you know? I don't know. I have a lot of like mixed feelings about some things, but for the most part, I'm absolutely loving this book. I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up being a 5-star read. I have taken up a project on my bookshelves, if you haven't noticed the different colors. I ordered some contact paper, some wood contact paper to cover my shelves with, because if I'm being completely honest, I just really am not a fan of the white on white on white on white. It's too much white and I don't know, it bugs me. So I wanted to do something different and cover the shelves in wood paper. But each shelf actually takes me quite a while to do. Like one shelf took me like 15 minutes to do. I don't know why. I'm not very good at applying this. So I'm gonna take a little break from reading and finish my shelves, and then we're gonna get back into it, because I don't think I'm gonna finish this book today. Like I said before, I am trying to savor this read, so I'm trying to read it over like 3 or 4 days instead of like binging it all in 24 hours. I'll be back with updates as soon as I pick it back up. I literally just woke up, so no judgment, okay? But I'm on the last 14% of Sunrise on the Reaping. I have 2 chapters left, and I'm scared. But also, if this doesn't make me sob, you guys did me dirty. Literally, all I've been seeing is people like straight up sobbing on the internet. Oh my goodness. I feel like something bad is about to happen. I knew it. Oh no. I knew it. No, 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 no. I knew it. I literally knew that was gonna happen. I look so rough right now. I look so rough, but we're not, it's fine. So I did not shed a single tear, which I'm very proud of myself for, but I will say it takes a lot for me to cry in books. So I'm actually not entirely surprised that this didn't make me cry. It was very sad and also kind of heart-wrenching at the end. I think I'm gonna give this book like a 4.5, because I really liked this book. I mean, I just love the Hunger Games books in general. I loved seeing Haymitch's story. I feel like that's something that we as Hunger Games people have been waiting for so long. I don't know, I kind of just feel like this book was just like another Hunger Games book. Like, I don't feel like this one necessarily like stood out that much. I absolutely loved seeing the ties and kind of the backgrounds of like the families, and I feel like this book was a mix between The Hunger Games and The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, because it had a lot of the same things. Like, obviously we have the actual Hunger Games himself from the original Hunger Games books, but then we also see a lot more of like the Covey, and Lenore, who is Haymitch's love, is basically like Lucy Gray 2.0. So I feel like it was basically just both the books in one book. With series like this, I feel like it's kind of hard to not be repetitive though, because like the entire story surrounds, you know, like the games. So throughout this book, I definitely felt like it was nothing new. Like, it's nothing we haven't really seen before. It was just told from a person's perspective that we've all been wanting to see. So that's kind of what made it special. I also just want to quickly add that it's not that I wasn't happy about that. I just wish that like we got more of Haymitch post games versus Haymitch pre-games and during the games, I guess I would say, because I feel like the last couple chapters in the epilogue is like what I really wanted from this book, and it just felt very like rushed towards the end. Like, we kind of just got like trauma dumped on at the end, versus like I wanted to really expand on like Haymitch's like development, I guess, into who he is like in the Hunger Games series versus like games, you know? Like, I liked seeing his games, but I wish it wasn't 90% of the book. Does that make sense? I would be really curious to know if there's going to be any other Hunger Games books. Like, I would love to see a book with, like, the aftermath of, like, what happened after Mockingjay. So, I don't know. Yeah, just final thoughts. Loved this book. It was so good. It was so fun. It was sad. But again, it was also kind of nothing new. Like, I basically predicted everything that was gonna happen, because just knowing, like, the capital and how, like, this world works, it's kind of obvious what's gonna happen. So, my next book book that I'm going to read is one that I actually already started, and that is Rebel Witch. I've gotten to page 65, and I will say the font in this book is lovely. Like, look at that font. Oh, it's so good. So I'm going to continue this one, which I'm also very excited for because, like I said before, the way that Heartless Hunter ended was pretty crazy, and even the first like 65 pages of this, I'm like, oh my goodness, like how is this gonna go? The literal tension. Squish, why are you doing anything? The literal tension in this book right now. Ah! Like, either kill each other or make out. Kill each other or make out. Give me something. Give the people what they want. I can't with these people. I have like a love-hate relationship with the whole like, I want to kill you, but I also am in love with you. Like, what? How does that work? But also, like, why do I eat it up? So this is a very weird angle. Okay, well, don't mind my laundry over here. We're gonna pretend that's not a thing. But I realize I've been very bad about updating you guys through the Rebel Witch read. I am now on page 260, which is a little bit over, well, it's over halfway through. And so far, I'm having a really good time with this book. Like, it's not screaming 5-star read to me by any means, but I just feel like I'm very intrigued. And like, it's pretty fast paced. And the tension, I know I said that before, but the tension in this book has me in a chokehold. Gideon, my dude, get your shit together. I cannot with this man. I feel like there was a lot of tension in the first one, but it almost feels like there's more tension in the second book because of what happened in the first book. Throughout the first book too, I feel like the plot itself wasn't necessarily the strongest. And I feel like with this book, there definitely is like a better actual plot going where there's like something that we're trying to kind of in a way like avoid, but we're also trying to figure something out. We're also trying to find someone. So there's like kind of a lot of moving pieces that I really appreciate. Stuff that has happened up until now is all kind of predictable. So I'm very intrigued to see if there are any kind of like plot twists or like what the, you know, climax is going to be. Overall, like, I'm just having fun. Except for I swear, if this one ends in any way how the previous book ended, I'm gonna be pissed. Although I don't know, I think this might be a duology, so this better have a good ending. So you guys know how I said that this book wasn't shaping up to be a 5-star read? I may have been lying a little bit. Is this a weird angle? I don't know. So I know that I said this book was not shaping up to be a 5-star read. I mean, I don't know if it was a 5-star read, but I feel like the only reason it wasn't a 5-star read is because I didn't get that like 5-star feeling, you know? Also, apologies. I've been so bad about updating you guys through this read. The last couple days have been honestly so nice. The weather has been getting so much better. So this morning I went on a hike and went to the farmer's market with a bunch of girls from church. And then we all went to lunch and it was so good. But yeah, I've just been kind of like reading this in between like other things I have to do. But I did finally finish it. And for the record, I loved the ending. I was so worried that like I was not gonna be happy about this ending. But no, it delivered. Let me tell ya, Rune and Gideon, my dudes. Rune and Gideon. I love them so much. The whole like love, hate, want to kill you, but I also love you is very weird for my head to grasp. But I also just eat it up every time. I loved the plot of this book a lot more than the previous book. There's really no reason for me not to give this a 5-star. The only reason I'm not, like I just said, is because I didn't get that 5-star feeling, but I feel like that might be because I've been in a weird funk for the last like couple weeks to couple months, and just like nothing has been giving me that like feeling. But I feel like this and Sunrise on the Reaping were like the closest thing to 5 stars that I've gotten in a long time. So I think I'm gonna give this like a 4.5 or a 4.75. Maybe if I ponder on it, I'll end up giving it a 5-star. I loved how fast-paced this was. I loved that we got a little bit more of the background with like, is it Cressida? Is that her name? Like the evil witch queen. I just liked how we saw more of like the bigger picture. This is very like romance heavy. Like I would say that this is mostly like a book surrounding Rune and Gideon than it is like a higher fantasy book. I don't know, I also liked kind of towards the end there was a little bit of a not found family, so to say, but there was a lot of characters that you wouldn't really think would be in the same group, and I thought that was really nice to see. Like I just really loved how in this book, specifically towards like the middle and the end, it really showed us that like not all of one group can be good or bad, you know? And I just like seeing people from like both sides kind of not forming alliances, so to say, but just like coming together for like the greater good, I guess. I'm really bad at like explaining things and putting like my thoughts into words and sentences that make sense. But yeah, overall, loved this. I had a great time. And we finished 3 book series in this video. I know. I'm so proud of myself because I feel like I've been starting a lot of series and I'm like in the middle of a lot of series, but I haven't really actually like finished a lot of series. So now I can check 3 off my list. Except for I do think there's going to be another Finley Donovan book because the way that the last one ended, like it hinted that there was going to be another book. So I finished that series for now, which brings us to the end of this video. I had such a good time with this. I had such a good time with all of these reads. I would say Finley Donovan was like my least favorite, and Sunrise on the Reaping and Rebel Witch were so good. Let me know what series you guys are in the middle of. Also, let me know if you have read any of the series that I read in this video and how you enjoyed them. I'm so excited for the next couple videos that I'm going to bring to you guys because we are doing some very, very fun things with some very, very fun people. So definitely stay tuned. If your notifications aren't on, turn them on so you can be notified whenever I post. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah.